Hi there, this is Coach Suiso and welcome to our types of reactions lab. Now we're going to be doing this as a demo because there's a bit of time sensitive stuff in here that would, if we did it live, wouldn't really work. So I'm going to go through each of the reactions individually and then we're going to put it all together at the end. So you should have in front of you two things. The first is your types of reactions evidence of chemical change lab sheet. That walks you through all the steps that I'm going to be doing. So as you're going through this, you can follow along and see what I'm doing with my lab. The second thing that you're gonna need, and this is the paper form of it, but these questions and these observations in this data table are gonna be on Canvas next to this video. And so as we go through these types of reactions that you did in the pre-lab, you're going to be able to write the observations and balance them. So you have seen these reactions before, now we're going to actually see them in person. So what I've got set up here, I've got a test tube where I'm gonna do my reactions. I've got, put that in here, a test tube holder to hang on to it. I've got two 250 milliliter beakers. One is on a hot plate, so it gets warm, and that is currently heating up. And one is at room temperature, and it's my cool beaker. I also have several chemicals here. I've got HCl, which is hydrochloric acid. I've got copper 2 nitrate, and I've got sodium hydroxide. And then I also have aluminum pellets, okay? And then some tools I've got my test tube tongs, and I've got some pipettes in order to get my, my solutions into my test tube. Now, safety first, so I'm gonna make sure before I start the lab that I am wearing my lab coat and that I am wearing my lab goggles for the entirety of the lab. You also wanna make sure, if you were in person, that you've washed your hands before you start, your phone is away, and your lab table is clear. So, the first procedure that we are going to do is set up our test tube. So I'm gonna take my test tube here, and I'm gonna take my ruler, and it says, with a marking pen, make 3 marks starting from the bottom of the test tube that are 1 centimeter apart. So I'm gonna take my ruler, I'm gonna lay my test tube, and I'm gonna make 3 marks. 1, 2, 3, with a Sharpie, okay? So now, I'm gonna do reaction 1. So reaction 1 says add 0.5 molar of copper 2 nitrate to the first mark on the test tube. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna put the test tube right here so you can easily see it. And I'm going to fill this up to the first marker. And it might take more than one pipette here, we'll see. There we go. Then, my next step is to add 1.5 molar of sodium hydroxide to the second mark on the test tube. So I'm gonna take my sodium hydroxide and I'm gonna add it. And this is my reaction here. So if you're looking at the reactions that you did in the pre-lab and on your lab sheet, it says we've got aqueous copper 2 nitrate and aqueous sodium hydroxide. Remember, aqueous means they are dissolved in water. And we're gonna react to form a solid copper 2 hydroxide and aqueous sodium nitrate. So let's see how this goes. So get real close so you can see it. Ready? And there we go. So go ahead and write your observations for this. Talk about color, talk about what you see, and then note what has actually been formed if you look at your reactions in italics and your reactions from the pre-lab. All right.